What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Humble Haunter here, joined with Craft, bringing you the pre-season analysis for the APL monotype off-season. Do you want to say hi, Craft?
Hi. So today I'll be helping Humble Haunter doing this stuff.
So for the monotype off-season, what I wanted to do, I wanted to make it a bit different. Instead of just having a normal monotype where everyone has the Pokemon in that type, we held a sort of draft. Everyone got a certain amount of points. That way, it made it more exciting. You had to think about your teams, and there wouldn't be, overpowered teams such as Steel type destroying Rock type every single match. So just a brief way of how that worked. Every type was split into three different tiers. Those tiers were given a certain amount of points. The better a team was, the lower a tier it was in, the lower number of points it had. And then every Pokemon was split into a certain amount of points. So then the better a tier was, the less Pokemon they could draft and the less good Pokemon they could draft as well. That was basically how it worked. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into the teams, we're going to take a look at them, we're going to talk about them, and we're just going to rank them. We're not going to put them in order because this is a monotype and it's a bit unfair to teams that are very bad, such as Rock type or Poison type in general, although Poison type has a very good team. So let's start with the Sun Division. We're going to start actually with my team because that's the first on the list, the South London Sylveons, and I'm normal type. Do you want to go over it, Craft?
Yep, so Champ drafted, or Haunter drafted Megalopony, Porygon Z, Meloetta, Porygon 2, Blissey, Diggersby, Heliolis, Miltank, Bravier, Munchlax. So yeah, overall very balanced team. You've got good offense on both sides. You've got very good special defense. There's a slight lack of physical defense, although you do still have options in Miltank and Porygon 2 in particular. Nice speed tiers with Heliolisk, Megalopony, both and Braviary all exceeding the base one, Meloetta all exceeding the base 100 boundary, I think, or certainly hitting it. And Miltank also hitting it if you do want to go with an offensive set on that. But
Yeah.
you also you've got nice setup options. You've got Curse Miltank. You've got obviously Carmine Meloetta. Power Up Punch Megalopony.
Yeah.
I suspect Munchlax gets Curse as well, and so you've got all sorts of different options there. Good Scarfer options. Heliolisk, Diggsby, Ripperate, nice Scarfer, so does Porygon Z. So you've got lots of options, very nice balance. Team. The weaknesses are generally covered well. The only weakness normal has is fighting, which is covered by Meloetta and Braviary in particular. Other weaknesses the team has are just because of their dual typing cells. So you've got Heliolisk weak to ground, but once again, like Braviary would cover that anyway. Megalopony being weak to Fairy, but because it is the only thing weak to that, then it's not a massive problem. Yeah, so overall it's really quite balanced. I'll just quickly give it my rating before I let Haunter talk about it a bit, but I gave this team a B plus, possibly an A minus. I think it is the top end of the B pluses, as you see the other teams I gave B plus, but I'm not sure it's quite good enough to get there because it does lack a bit of ways of taking physical hits. And considering he does have the fighting type user in it, the fighting type person in his group, as well as lots of mons getting physical fighting coverage, lacking ways of taking physical hits is definitely going to be a problem. And he's got a few mons which rely on EVO like Porygon 2 and Munchlax, so knockoff is also going to be a bit of a problem since Meloetta's weak to it as well. But generally, it's a good team, so I'd give it B plus.
Yeah, I mean, I was very happy with the team I drafted. I didn't really feel like there was much else I could draft to make it better. I sort of wanted Ambipom, but there wasn't really anywhere to put that because I'd have to replace him on for him, and everyone sort of has a job already. So I was happy with it, definitely. There wasn't a lot I'd change.
Yeah, overall it's a very good team.
Yeah. So I mean, if I was ranking it from an unbiased view, I'd probably give it a B plus as well. And there was a third judge who isn't here at the moment who gave it a B plus. So on average, that did get a B plus. Next, we move on to the Ferrous State Boulders, who were fighting type. They had Lucario, Keldeo, Mega Gallade, Infernape, Breloom, Toxcroak, Pangoro, Hitmonchan, and Throw. I gave this a B minus. I mean, obviously with fighting, it's not his fault he got fighting type. It's not a very good type when it comes to monotype. It just doesn't it doesn't have any good walls or bulk to take many hits.
It just lacks versatility in general.
Yeah, he's managed to get all of the special attackers you can get in a fighting type. But everything on his team just isn't going to take a super effective hit more than once. Everything will get 2-hit KO by a flying type move or a fairy type move or a psychic type move. It's just he's gonna. I reckon his matches will be very quick, and he'll either win them by a lot or get destroyed. I think. He does have some good mons by themselves who can do a lot. Breloom and Infernape can be versatile. You can run Infernape defensively if you want. You can run, Toxic, whatever it is, Poison Heal, Breloom.
Yeah.
But, it's just not going to take a hit, in my opinion.
No, his team is really reliant on Lucario to take hits.
Yeah.
Because it's the only one which isn't, Mega Blade can take psychic hits, and take Pangoro, but fairy type hits and fly type hits is sort of the only real mon which can take those. And even then, depending on the power of the mon, it's not going to be taking 2.
Yeah, Lucario is going to be like a necessity in most matches to win. He doesn't want to be switching those in.
Any form of hit, and just to be a special attacker, so he's not walled by any key physical walls.
Yeah.
The team's not horrible for what he was given. I gave it C+, so but that's only because the type is so lackluster. It lacks so many things. It lacks defensive mons. I understand Infernape can be. Lucario can take some of the super effective hits, as Roy said, well, what's super effective on other mons. Throw can be a Hitmonchan can be, but they're still not taking those big hits most of the time, and they don't have any reliable recovery except Infernape, and I guess if you count Poison Heal on Breloom. He can work around if you get stuff that you get if he manages to put key threats to sleep, but I think if his opponent preps well enough, most teams won't have too big issue versus him. It's just unfortunate that he got the type he did. But
another thing I wanted to add is, even though he's fighting type, he really doesn't have any mons that quick other than Infernape and Keldeo.
Mega Blade is base 100 or something.
Yeah, so that's not that quick, to be honest, when it comes to monotype. It's Infernape. Yeah, Infernape, Keldeo, and I think Lucario to an extent. Well, Lucario is base 90. Yeah. He's 90. Yeah, he just.
I know most of his speeds is on my card now.
He just doesn't have that quick mons as well. He has two or three base 100 and above, and for a type sort of as weak when it comes to bulk as fighting, that's just not what you want.
As you would expect, though, he does have a lot of priority, which is nice.
He does, yeah, that's true.
I think almost every one of his team has priority. Keldeo doesn't.
Lots and lots of Mac Punch.
Yeah, I think only Keldeo doesn't. I'm not sure where Fro gets any priority.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. So
Keldeo gets quick attack. I stand corrected.
Quick attack throw. Next, we move on to the London Lanoons, who were electric type, who got Mega Manectric, Raikou, Thunderous Eye, Magnezone, Rotom Wash, Galvantula, Mega Ampharos, and Luxray. It was a decent team, in my opinion. He used what he had, to be honest, because obviously electric type doesn't have that many physical attackers. He's got Luxray and Thunderous Eye to an extent with superpower and things like that. Again, he has sort of the same problem with the fighting type. There isn't too much bulk on his team. Magnezone can take some hits to an extent, but not a ground type hit. Ampharos can take 1 or 2 hits, but that's about it, to be honest. Yeah. Do you wanna make any comments?
I feel similarly like the last team was still very reliant on Lucario. I feel Rotom Wash will be pretty key because I understand from I can take ground types, but Rotom Wash, his only weakness is grass, which is by far the least common of coverage moves.
And he doesn't have a grass type in his tier as well.
But generally, mons don't get grass coverage, and HP grass isn't going to do massive amount of damage to it.
Who's going to run HP grass?
You never know. You never know. Anyway, his team's not bad, but it sort of epitomises the electric type. Lots of fast special attackers.
One of the comments you made about this team earlier was the fact that he drafted Galvantula and he sort of doesn't need it, to be honest.
God.
I mean,
Yeah, it's like
he doesn't.
why do you have to go Pancha? Sticky webs.
His team's fast enough as it is. You know, Mega Manectric, Raikou, Thunderous Eye, Luxray, Galvant. Well, yeah, Galvant. Yeah.
I mean, Bug technically resists fighting, so
It's not going to take a hit, is it?
And it can hit Psychic super effectively. So I guess there's an argument there for his group, but like
I feel like he could have used that 1.5 points for a bit more extra. You know,
like Electrovire.
Yeah.
Because then he would have no physical attacker.
Yeah.
And it gets ground coverage, which is awesome.
Yeah, it does.
And ice coverage.
Yeah, I mean, Electrovire gets loads of coverage.
Yeah. Fighting coverage.
So, yeah, I gave this team a B. What did you give it?
B as well.
Yeah, and the third judge gave it a B as well. I think just the problem with this team is just there's nothing outstanding. It's not bad, it's just not good.
It's just exactly, perfectly average.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Okay at everything, but...
So next we have the Ljubljana Lattes, probably butchered that, sorry, with the Steel type who are Jirachi, Mega Scizor, Metagross, Doublade, Bisharp, Marwile, that's the regular form, Clang, Ferroseed, and Bronzor. Yeah. Where's his bulk without Eviolite? I
guess Metagross makes us on the physical side.
But when you're going up against a team with Steel type, you're going to have loads of fire on you, aren't you?
Yeah.
He has. Yeah, so that's. Yeah, that's the problem with this team. I had a few problems. There's no special bulk. There's also no weakness coverage. Ground type, the only thing that's going to be taking a ground type hit to an extent is Scizor. Fire type, nothing takes a fire type. Fighting type, Jirachi and Scizor and Metagross to an extent, yeah. And it's massively knock-off weak. If his walls get knocked off, I think every...
I think what annoys me is if he had just swapped Bisharp for... I assume Bronzong is around that sort of tier.
Yeah, I believe Bronzong was that one.
Better.
Yeah, because he could have run...
Favorite ground types, heat proof if you need it,
yeah.
Psychic for fighting types.
Yeah.
But instead he's relying on Bronzor, which, knock off.
Yeah. He also doesn't have the most amount of special offense as well. He's going to have to run special Jirachi, who's just not as good as physical Jirachi.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. What's he going to do? Run special Metagross? Yeah. It's
very imbalanced.
Yeah, I gave this a B-, but it probably should have been a C+, to be honest.
Yeah. I just wish he'd drafted Scizor Tranquil.
Yeah, Heatran could have, helped him massively with that fire immunity, and
I think you have to give it some respect, just because if you get set up with Scizor, then you still speed.
He does. I mean, he does have things to help out things like Scizor and Metagross.
But I think that C+ is.
Yeah, I think the third judge gave him a C+ as well.
Yeah.
So next we move on to the Michigan Munchlax, and they had the Poison type, which was actually a tier 3 type, so it was ranked the lower end of the types. He got Gengar, Mega Venusaur, Scolipede, Nidoqueen, Tentacruel, Weezing, Crobat, Dragalge, Garbodor, and Skuntank. And for a team I feel as bad as Poison, he made a very good team.
Yeah, it's literally one of my favourites. You've got physical walls, special walls. Dragalge is bulky on the special side.
Yeah.
So wall-wise, we've got Weezing, Crobat, Dragalge's bulky on it, Garbodor, Skuntank, Tentacruel. Only Crobat has reliable recovery. Mega Venusaur, both.
Yeah, Weezing gets that pain split,
Good walls, nice status inflictors. Obviously, you put Toxic on everything. You've got Toxic spikes.
He's not going to miss any of those. He's not going to miss any of those Toxics, as I found out the other day.
You've got Will-O-Wisp on certain on Skullburns as well. Will-O-Wisp on Weezing and Skullburns as well. All his sort of weaknesses are covered. So you've got things weak to ground, but then you've got Crobat, Gengar, and Weezing. You've got things weak to Psychic, but then you've got Skuntank, and obviously Scorpio can revenge kill them quite effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Also, the Psychic isn't that common unless you're going against the actual Psychic type. So even then, Skuntank probably won't be that necessary every match. Things like...
because he already has other hazard removal as well.
Yeah.
2 defoggers and a Rapid Spinner.
Maybe he could have gone a bit more on the physical offense. He just has Scolipede, really. and
Yeah.
sort of to an extent Crobat, but that's about it. Unless
But
he's
as I'm learning in the normal season, Scorpio wreck stuff, so.
yeah. And I mean, Scolipede can tear through most of the types here. It gets ground coverage for electric and steel, bug coverage for psychic.
It tends to struggle a bit against steel, from using it, just because of the fact that most steel types have really heavy physical defense. But he has other ways of doing it. Nidoqueen being the prime example of power and fire coverage.
So yeah, I gave this team an A-.
Yeah, it's also. I also just realised it actually gets rocks as well because Nidoqueen gets rocks.
Yeah.
I'm A-, and to be honest, I'm almost tempted to say it's because it is the best team in my opinion, even an A. But I'll stick with my original gun to go A-, but it's a very good team.
Yeah, definitely. I think the third judge also gave it an A- as well. So the final team in the Sun Division, we have the London Landorus, a lot of London teams, with the Psychic type, with Malamar, Mew, Mega Alakazam, Mr. Mime, Victini, Metagross, Starmie, and Claydol. And he has no way to deal with Dark type.
His bulk is near non-existent.
It's literally just Mew.
Yeah, Mew's probably... Starmie can fit the role.
Unless
Claydol can fit the role.
Unless he's going to run Assault Vest Mr. Mime, which could work because it's very versatile with its move pool, but it's just better for setting up screens and things like that.
I mean, AV Malamar isn't horrible because superpower boosts its defense, but it's quite weak to bug. So
I mean that's another thing. Bug type tears through him. Again.
Yeah, and he kind of just loses to Pursuit and Knockoff.
Pursuit destroys his team. A lot of things can get Pursuit. You wouldn't really think.
I mean, almost every team he goes up against. I actually listed 3 of them yesterday, but I'll just skip to it. Almost every team he goes up against has at least Amon with Pursuit. So
I think every team has a Mon with Knockoff as well.
Yeah, we discovered that as well. So he's in. I understand Cold Berry's a thing, and I understand Psychic types are bound to have some problems there. But I feel you probably could have worked around it a bit better. Yeah. I think Malamar's the only can play Pursuit or Knockoff. So.
Yeah, and even then, people might run Hidden Power, Bug, or a lot of things get U-turn. To be honest,
I'm kind of upset he didn't get one of the Latias just because their coverage is insane.
Yeah. I mean, that would have helped him. If he got Latias, that would have helped him massively on the bulky side. Yeah,
because Latias, I mean, he may be forced to run Colbert against particularly strong mons, but it can take the hits better, and you can still afford to stay in baiting the Pursuit and then hit them really hard in return.
Yeah, and he's got enough special offense already. He wouldn't be using them for special offense.
Yeah,
because he does have Mew, Mega Alakazam, Starmie. All those.
His team is similar to Unlucky's in some ways in the fact that he could either crush teams with the amount of offensive pressure he has or be crushed.
Yeah. Oh, he's sort of quite a hyper-offensive team.
I think I gave him a B-, only because he has massive threats like Victini, which should overshadow Unlucky's biggest threats.
Yeah.
I think they're more threatening. But
he's
still not there. I mean,
he's got Victini just to take out all the bug types. To be honest, I gave him a B- as well, and I believe the third judge gave him a B. So that was that. So that was the Sun Division. Next, we move on to the Moon Division, and we have the first team up. Manchester, the Fire type. You bought Heatran, Volcanion, Mega Charizard X, Ninetales, Flareon, Combusken, Torkoal, Rotom Heat, and Blaziken Blaze Form. You got sort of everything, to be honest. It's not the best at everything you have, but you have everything. You have what you need. It's not necessarily the best, but you do have what you need. You've got rocks and a spinner in Torkoal. You've got sort of bulky offense in Heatran, Volcanion, and Charizard X. You've got sort of a Cleric and Flareon. You've got whatever Combusken does. Baton Pass. That's it. And you've just sort of got, the support of Rotom Heat.
Yeah, Combusken hits surprisingly hard, and it doesn't even necessarily have the Baton Pass. It can just sit there and sort of
it does have
damage off.
85 attack and special attacks. So it's not that bad.
Yeah, like if you put a life orb on it, it's going to be hitting reasonably hard, and although it might not be OHKOing anything, it can get damage off so that my other mons can come in and clean up.
I mean, one of the problems with Combuskin though is the protect is quite obvious when you're going to use it to get that speed boost, because without the speed boost it just dies.
That's why I think Sash is somewhat key, because then you don't have to protect on the first turn.
Yeah, you can set up a sword stance or something, protect and then baton pass.
Yeah, exactly. Having said that, I feel I sort of agree with you on my team. Like, it has everything, just it's not the best at everything. But then again, I tried to. It's nothing where I haven't quite managed to cover all my weaknesses, because there are still very prominent weaknesses to ground and rock and so on. But then again, it's very difficult to do with the typing.
Yeah, definitely. Fire is not an easy type to sort out the weaknesses.
No.
I think
it's just got offense.
One of the small issues I had with this, without Life Orb, you don't really have any individual wall breaker by itself. Maybe Blaziken to an extent, but that's about it.
Volcanion is considered a wall breaker just because of Steam Eruption.
Steam Eruption is broken as fuck.
Yeah, it gets Steam Eruption and Fire Blast, so even if you're in like leftovers, that's going to be doing close to 50% on almost every mon, and if you get a burn, then...
Yeah, I mean, Blaziken, I think, is your only real wall breaker, and you'll probably be running Life Orb on that. And then, I mean,
I like Blaziken.
Yeah, he's underrated. Yeah. He's underrated without the speed boost.
It sort of misses Infernape, which I know you've pointed out before, because Infernape does provide a lot to almost any team, but at the same time there wasn't really anything I really wanted to drop. I definitely wanted the Sun, and I guess I could have gone Charizard Y and then got Infernape instead of Ninetales. Personally, I felt Zardex offered so much.
Yeah, personally I would have liked to have seen Infernape, because he also offers rocks and special and physical offense, but I understand why you didn't get him in terms of the other ones you did get. So I believe I gave you just a solid B.
Yeah.
I believe the other judge gave you a B as well.
Yeah, so, if I was being unbiased, I'd give probably myself a B. I think it could be good, but it doesn't quite cover his weakness. It's sort of like almost there. It's similar to Andrew's team. It's like got everything, but it's not quite.
I mean,
good.
with good prep and good sets, I mean, you'll be able to do a lot. But by itself, right now, I'd have to give it a B.
Yeah, you have to base off the draft, and based off the draft, it's definitely an average draft. So
so next we move on to the Atlanta Absols with their water type. They had Manaphy, Mega Gyarados, Rotom Wash, Gastrodon, Tentacruel, Sharpedo, Swampert, and Octillery. Where's the grass type check? Where?
I mean, he's Tentacruel, I guess, because Liquid Ooze means no Giga Drain.
True.
No Leech Seed or Giga Drain spam because of Liquid Ooze. But this team, because Water type is such a good type, I understand his points were very limited.
Yeah, Water type was...
I feel it could have been approached differently and done so much better.
I feel like he could have dropped one mon and then boosted a bunch of other mons. I feel like he doesn't...
I feel like Azumarill would have been nice because Sapsipper.
Yeah, and also, I just don't understand why he got Swampert, to be honest. He's already got Gastrodon. Having two...
He wanted a rocker.
True.
I personally would have actually got Swampert instead of Gastrodon, because although Gastrodon in normal play is better because it gets actual recovery, I do prefer Swampert because fewer points, rock setter, and can be used defensively and offensively. Whereas Gastrodon is generally only really...
Yeah, I think the point there is, why did he get both of them?
Yeah, it's not the same problem as Swampert, it's getting that and Gastrodon.
Yeah, it puts, he's probably going to be bringing either one of them or both of them every single match. So that's, just easy prep for an opponent, just to stick Hidden Power Grass on there or something.
Definitely.
There's also... I
mean, he has good setup options.
Yeah, Manaphy, Mega Gyarados, Sharpedo, to an extent, can do a lot. I'm not really sure. I don't really see him bringing Octillery much at all. I'm not sure why he got that.
I quite like Octillery.
I like it, but it's just a bit useless. I mean, it's got base 105 attack and special attack, but it's got 45 base speed. I mean, 75.
It gets some surprising coverage.
It gets good coverage.
It gets
Just looking through right now, it gets Acid Spray, Blizzard, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Energy Ball, Flash Cannon, Gunk Shot, Ice Beam, Rock Blast, Seed. It gets a lot, but I don't see it coming that much.
Yeah, I think the only team it might come against, I guess it could come against Aggron and the Fairy types, and then Isu.
Yeah. I mean, he could have what he could have done is just got rid of auxiliary and used that one extra point to boost. I don't know, a 1.25 into a 1.5.
Yeah, like Swampert.
Yeah.
Because he didn't need that investment.
Yeah.
The problem I have is the repeated types. You have 2 water dark types.
Yeah.
You have 2 water grass types.
Ground.
So it's like
ground.
I'm tired. Brain doesn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, okay, it's fair enough if they are like, I understand water ground is pretty common, but it's fair enough it's like base water, but you didn't need those 2 water ground because they don't do different jobs. I think those water dark do similar jobs to an extent, you know.
What he could have done, to be honest, just looking through it now, he could have dropped Octillery and Gastrodon, got Politoed, and then boosted 2 other Mons.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Politoed would
got
help.
like Mega Swampert or something, and then dropped Gyarados to something different.
Yeah, Politoed would have helped his team massively. Because, I mean, it's monotype. Of course, with water type, you're probably going to want to draft a rain team. You get Mega Swampert can tear through teams if you get it with Politoed or just rain.
There are just certain things like maybe getting a rain team. Probably should have got Azumarill just because the Sap Zipper option is definitely there and would have helped a lot versus Isu in particular. Because it's not even like he won't come across grass type, because he will.
Yeah, grass types in his group.
And repetitive types. I mean, it's not a bad team, but it's just very underwhelming for the type he got, because water type is generally considered the best in monotype. Yeah. I understand he got fewer points to compensate for that, but still,
he didn't need some of the ones he got, and he could have used the points better. So yeah, I gave him B- for his, because I mean, it can still put in work, but it's just not very good.
I gave him a B- last B, because I feel people were like slightly overly harsh just because they had high expectations for water type.
True.
But it's still not like a great team.
I think the third judge gave him a B- as well.
Yeah.
So next we move on to the Cork City Cyndaquils, who are fairy type. They got Mega Gardevoir, Clefable, Azumarill, Klefki, Whimsicott, Togekiss, Sylveon, and Gramble. I believe these are the only fairy types that exist which are viable, so there's not really much you can say about it.
It's sort of exactly what you'd expect. His only physical walls are Clefable and Gramble. I guess Klefki to an extent.
Yeah, but Klefki's not taking an earthquake at all, or anything like that.
Exactly. It's basically what you'd expect from a fairy team, always all specially offensive or specially defensive.
Yeah, I mean, he's got decent walls to an extent, but not really.
Yeah.
They're there to take 1 or 2 hits, but you're not going to be able to swap them in and out.
Utility. His team's taunt bait.
Yeah, massive taunt bait.
He's got Whimsicott, so I guess if he taunts him and you switch Whimsicott in,
well, they
not
could,
on the turn, but like the turn after.
They could have that. What is it? That mental herb, so they can stop the taunt.
Yeah,
stop taunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Aggron, and I know he will prep well, so I'm sure he'll pick up plenty of wins.
Yeah.
But if we look at the team at face value, it's got some flaws.
Yeah. The lack of, I mean, every team's just going to be sticking in, maybe 3 special walls and 1 physical wall, then just 2 fast sweepers, and they'd probably just beat the team.
Exactly. And it's not even like his team's exceptionally fast, because Mega Gardevoir's mine's similar, but Mega Gardevoir's the only one which reaches base 100. And he's only got priority in Azumarill. Well, Klefki and Whimsicott, but they're not the same sort of priority, so only in Azumarill. So, if he wants any form of speed, it's going to be Mega Gardevoir and Scarf to kiss almost every game.
Yeah. And he'd probably be better than not.
Whimsicott's fast, but Whimsicott dies to 1 attack.
Yeah. So I just gave this a B, to be honest. It's rather average team on face value. But that's because there was...
I gave it a B+ only because I feel like if you're comparing it to another B, i.e. my team, it probably is actually slightly better. True. I mean, it does at least have better speed than my team.
Yeah.
It does have better setup options than my team as well. So I still try to use that comparison aspect, and in that regard, I gave it a B+. Although, it's sort of on the boundary between B and B plus. It's not quite as good a B plus as, let's say, your team. There's still intervals within each grade.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, again, it wasn't really his fault. It's the type. It just doesn't offer much at all.
It's very rigid in what it.
Yeah.
Like.
So next we move on to the Dominican Drapions, the Dark type team with Mega Tyranitar, Mandibuzz, Umbreon, Weavile, Drapion, Sharpedo, Bisharp, Hydreigon, and Skuntank. He's not taking a physical move at all.
No.
He has three.
It's kind of what you expect from a Dark team. He just dies to fighting ground types.
Three ones quad weak to fighting, and there's only sort of 2 resists, and Mandibuzz and Skuntank.
I don't get why both the Steel type and the Dark type picked up Bisharp.
Yeah.
I understand why in some regards, because I've used Bisharp draft.
He has the second strongest Sucker Punch.
Yeah, I was so forced. I was so forced to use Bisharp because it's like the only Steel type I had left. I wanted to knock off use in a draft format, and I was really surprised that I ended up getting same most kills on my team behind a Mega Lopunny.
Yeah.
Because you could, if you predict a defog.
Yeah, the Defiant boost is very nice.
Even if someone happens to get a clutch stat drop on you because of an energy ball, you can turn what might not actually be a good situation to a great situation and gain so much momentum, especially since it does get that priority. And it gets pursuit and knockoff, which I understand most Dark types do, but it means you can you can switch in on, let's say, a defog from a. I'm trying to think of a good example, but a defog from a certain Mon, like a Lati. I know they didn't draft in this format, but it wasn't drafted. But for example, a Lati, and then just pursuit trap it, and it's gone. It
also gets it tears through fairy types as well. It gets poison jab and iron moves. So something like a Zoomerall.
So it's a nice way of dealing with the group. He does have Drapion and Bisharp, and Skuntank. So I guess that's why he drafted it, so he could deal with people in the group.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean he's got decent walls in Mandibuzz and Umbreon.
And Mega Titar and the Sanders booked on special.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I get that he needed Skuntank for the defog, but I just don't think it was that necessary, to be honest.
I think Skuntank's underrated. I think he'll actually do pretty decent. It gets nice coverage, and it gets stuff like acid spray and so on.
True. I believe I gave this a B/B plus though, to be honest, because it has massive offense. Actually, no, I gave it a B because there's also a massive lack of special offense as well.
I gave this a B/B plus because I think it's basically the exact same as Aggron's team in the regard there's physical offense and physical defense, which is actually the opposite of Aggron's team.
Yeah.
Not physical defense, but physical offense and. In particular, exceptionally well, but everything else is a bit lackluster. Like Aggron's team, the special offense particularly well, but everything else sort of lackluster. So B/B plus because once again I know Zen and I have faith he'll get something out of it.
Yeah, no. It's just on the draft itself. Yeah, I think the third judge also gave him a B. Next,
if I was rating off Zen, I'd give like B+.
Yeah. Next, we move on to Rolt Sociedad, who were Grass type. They also got the Tier 3 type Grass type because it's trash. He got Mega Venusaur, Rotomo, Breloom, Sceptile, Ludicolo, Cradilly, Ferrothorn, Superior, Tangrowth, and Shiftry. I really liked his draft. It deals with some of his weaknesses quite well. Ludicolo with the fire, Cradilly also with fire and flying. Rotomo with flying. It has the checks to his weaknesses. I mean, they're not sort of directly going to counter them, but they're there.
Yeah. I aren't as popular. I don't like as much as I think you do, just because I feel that the way he beats most of the Mons makes him. It's very obvious. So it means, for example, when he's against flying. He's likely going to have to bring Cradilly, Ferrothorn, and Rotomo. So that's 3 Mons already.
That's true. I understand
that's true. I understand that's true of other teams. I think it's more so true of this team.
Yeah, his draft would.
And he still likes it. Well, for a grass type team, he lacks reliable recovery because Tangrowth gets it, Mega Venusaur gets it, but other than that, it's
Breloom to an extent with Poison Heal.
Yeah.
But
he's still very big flying types. So.
Yeah, I mean the only problem is it's not really his fault. It's just Grass has so many weaknesses. Ice, Bug, Flying, Fire. all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Even because you can sort of predict what Monty's going to bring. Okay, he might bring those 3 months I mentioned prior who do deal fly types, but then you can find another weakness that they all share or something. You know,
poison as well.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a huge amount of physical offense as well. I mean, he's got Cradillion, Ferrothorn, he's got Breloom, but then Cradillion and Ferrothorn aren't really going to be offering much offense.
And
Tangrowth, yeah.
I don't feel like he's going to be able to bring Shiftry every game, so there's hazard stack potential there.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
There's a few flaws.
Although he does have very, very nice special offense. Mega Venusaur, Superior, you know, all that lot.
And you can put your entire team to sleep because everything gets.
He's immune to Spore and that Leech Seed and all that.
Yeah.
So I gave it a.
Yeah, for what?
Okay. Yeah.
You go.
You talk.
Okay, for what it is, I don't think for the type you got, I don't think it's bad. But I gave it a B/B+ because I still don't think it's quite as good as some of the other teams.
I gave it a B/A-, and I believe the third judge.
Yeah, because you love this.
I believe the third judge also gave him a B+ as well. So the final team in the Moon Division is the New Jersey Dwebbles with the Flying type team. This was a Tier 1 team, so they didn't have that many points. They got Skarmory, Hawlucha, Noivern, Moltres, Gligar, Mega Aerodactyl, Togetic, and Rotom Fan. It's just rather meh, to be honest.
It's what we realised last time, which basically he's tried to get as many different types as he can within the flying.
Yeah.
So everything's an original dual typing. But I really don't think he needed half of these dual types. Like,
he doesn't.
Why does he need Moltres?
Yeah.
Why does he need Rotom Fan?
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of like, oh.
He's also missed out on some of the best flying types, such as Landorus T or Tornadus, or even just Thundurus. He could have got.
I feel like if he wanted an electric type for the water type matchup,
he would have got Thundurus.
Drop Rotom Fan and pick up Thundurus I or Thundurus T.
Yeah. It's just not very.
Yeah.
I mean, Skarmory's amazing. Everyone knows that. As a flying type, it's a fantastic defensive mon. It will really help him with a rock weakness, especially against the Dominican Drapions, their Mega Tyranitar. That's sort of the only thing that's going to help him. That and Hawlucha. But other than that, it just doesn't really have that much bulk as well. Other than Skarmory and Togetic to an extent.
I see why he got Gligar as well, because I think his worry was if he only had Skarmory, then when he played me in particular, he wouldn't have a good defogger, so he wanted another one. But it's like, that's one matchup.
Landorus T is just such a better version of Gligar.
Yeah, because I know in the matchup, like versus him, I would be more scared of a Landorus T destroying my team than I would be of a Gligar eating a few hits and getting maybe 50% off.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's not a bad team, it's just meh.
Yeah. Again, we don't really know why he drafted Moltres. He's massively weak to Stealth Rocks as it is. All Moltres is going to help with is Grass type, because no one got the Ice type in the end.
Yeah. I guess it's just what we said already, that he wanted as many different types within the monotype as possible.
Yeah.
So he drafted all these dual types, but it's sort of wasted some of his points, because I think Rotom Fan's a waste of points. He wanted electric types who got
definitely
Thunder's Eye. The fact they didn't get any of the genies, and they are all OU mons.
I don't understand why he didn't get Tornadus. It's definitely the best flying type in the game.
The thing is as well, even if you didn't think he could afford Tornadus T, Tornadus I really isn't that bad. It gets some burden as well, so you can run Superpower with the Herb, which recovers stat changes.
True, yeah.
And then Acrobatics. So even if you're not sure about points, there are some lower tier options which are still better than many of the mons he picked up.
Yeah, I feel like he drafted too many irrelevant mons.
Yeah. Noivern is a good mon, but once again, Dragonite does its job better because the multi-scale means...
Yeah.
When you've got such a good remover like Skarmory, Dragonite's multi-scale is actually really nice.
Yeah. I gave this team a B-/C+.
I gave this team a B- /B because he still does have lots of potential there. It's just meh.
Yeah. I believe the third judge also gave him a B-. So those are the two divisions. I think we'll quickly just talk about the predictions for the first week of matches. So I've got the schedule somewhere. Here it is. So we'll start with the Sun division. The week 1 matches, the 3 week 1 matches, we have London Lanoons taking on Michigan Munchlax. That's the electric type taking on Poison. We have the South London Sylveons taking on the Ferris State Boulders, so a normal type taking on fighting type. That'd be interesting, fun for me. And London Landorus taking on the Ljubljana Lattes, so that's Psychic taking on Steel. And Steel primarily is resistant to Psychic.
And it gets.
Yeah. So what are your... We'll start with the first match, London Lanoons against Michigan Munchlax.
I'm going to predict... because it's a balanced matchup, I'm going to predict Grey to come out with probably a 3-0. Because as we were saying yesterday, Magnezone sword is really key for Andrew.
Yeah.
But on the other side, Scolipede is super key for Grey, and I feel Scolipede will probably end up tearing through Andrew's team.
Yeah, especially since Scolipede gets Earthquake as well.
Yeah, meaning it can take down the other threats.
My opinion, the only way that Andrew's going to be able to stop a Scolipede is just Thunder Waving it with his Thunderous.
Yeah. Which, Lumberry's the thing.
Yeah.
So you take that, and then you get a Rock Slide off.
Yeah, he also risks losing his Thunderous on that turn as well, if Lunbury... Yeah. He just doesn't have that much bulk to take on Grey's team.
No.
So, yeah.
And Venus will resist almost everything.
Yeah, so my opinion is maybe a 2 or 3-0 win for Grey in that match.
Yeah.
So next we have South London Sylveons taking on the Ferris State Boulders. Your thoughts?
If I'm going to be unbiased, I know how he plays, so this might not be as clean cut as it sounds, but I feel like we have to get to a fighting type. He does have the advantage here.
Yeah.
You do have Bravier and Meloetta, which can take it on, but equally you do have most fighting types get rock and dark coverage in knockoff and rock slide and so on. So I'm going to give it, as a tight game, I'm going to give a 102 for Ferris State Boulder.
Looking at types, he wins this. Obviously I have plans to deal with it. Mega Lopunny. But yeah, he, on face value, fighting type should always beat normal type, no matter what. Yeah.
And the priority as well means that even if he's slower than a lot of Demons, he should be able to get the first hit off.
Yeah, Mac Punch will do a lot to a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, unbiasedly, I'm going to have to say he wins this. But obviously I believe that I can win. And the final match of the Sun Division, we have the Steel types against the London Landorus. I'm not going to attempt the Steel type's name anymore because I've ruined it. Victini wins. It's simple.
Yeah, Victini wins, but equally, for example, I don't want to go too many ideas, but Folk Slash Bishop can also put in a lot of work, so I do think it'll be close. If he can get rid of the Victini, which he shouldn't be able to.
He should win. He should win if he gets rid of Victini.
But if he doesn't, then Harshal wins.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be close, whatever. I don't think it'll be quite as tight as yours versus Unlucky's game. So I'm going to give it 2-0 to Harshal. But if Victini goes down, then it could easily be a 3 or 4-0 to Milotic.
Yeah, I just feel like a Choice Scarf Victini tears through the Steel types. Yeah.
Like you said, sash things are stuff.
Yeah. He has to run...
Like,
he'd have to run Ockerberry on everything, or Focus Sash on everything, really. Yeah. So
he has a chance, but it just depends how much damage Teeny has done before it goes down. Because things as well as it puts everything in Mega Zam range.
Yeah, because Mega Zam, Steel type doesn't resist Ghost type, does it? So he can just Shadow Ball everything after then.
No. Or Focus Blast if he's really willing to.
No one is going to be running Focus Blast.
I run Focus Blast all the time, and I don't miss it because I'm great.
Because you're lucky. Yeah. So I got a 3-0 for London Landorus in that match.
Yeah.
Next we move on to the Moon Division. We have the Cork City Cyndaquils taking on the Rolt Sociedad. This is interesting. It's Somewhat of a neutral match, except Mega Venusaur just sort of destroys the fairy types.
Mega Gardevoir destroys.
Yeah, it's two Megas which sort of run through both teams. And it's sort of who can...
And Azuma will get Sap Sipper, so
True.
apart from Mega Venusaur, not many things are going to be able to hit it that hard.
Yeah, I feel like... I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like the grass will take it just because Venusaur's more likely to live a hit if it doesn't kill first turn.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But then again, Gardevoir's got that base 100 speed, so...
Definitely.
I mean, and also...
It's going to be tight.
Yeah, it's really... It's one of those really hard ones, because Fairy has that really good special defense bulk as well, and Grass is primarily especially offensive.
Especially offensive, yeah. It's tough. I know both the players. I know they are both exceptionally good players.
Yeah.
I will go to Isu just because, I don't know, I have a feeling.
I feel
so
like
I'll say
Venusaur.
1-0.
Yeah, I've got to say 1-0.
1-0 to Sociedad.
Same. I'm going to have to go for a 1-0 for the Real Sociedad. I just feel like Mega Venusaur is going to put in so much work. And as long as he has...
a good player, though.
I feel like he can just sort of run that Ferrothorn as a switch into Mega Gardevoir, and then just make sure he doesn't have Hidden Power Fire, and he just sort of does that.
But if Mega Gar gets a sub up...
Yeah, that's true.
It'll be very tight.
Yeah, it's basically which Mega can survive longer.
Yeah.
So next we have the Manchester Not Skitties taking on the Atlanta Absols. So that's fire versus water. Again, like the previous match, type-wise, you just sort of have to give it to water, really. You do have that Volcanion, which will help massively. Just looking at your team now, actually. You get Ninetales, which will give you...
Because his only things are like Hidden Power Grass. Like his only things which beat Volcanion, Hidden Power Grass.
Actually, I don't know. Type value, he wins, but just looking at the teams now, to be honest, I don't see how he can win. You get Ninetales. If you just stick a Choice Scarf on it, you Solar Beam everything. Volcanion gets Water Absorb.
And Arc Jet or whatever won't be doing that much.
Yeah, especially in the sun. I mean, you just get Blaziken.
But because he doesn't have the Mega first turn, Gyarados can work.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, you don't have to Mega first turn, so he can get that Intimidate off as well if he wants. He can just swap out first turn with the Gyarados, just keep getting Intimidates off.
And you can always dance on a Solar Beam because he's not being hit effectively.
He might also
Mega or whatever.
He could also experiment with running like Rindo Berry Gastrodon with Magic Coat or whatever it is. Magic Mirror Coat. That's it.
Yeah, and make that thing which you can always get up against me. So I'm going to give it to him, even if it's only as an insurance policy. So if I do, yes.
So if you lose, I told you so, guys.
Yeah, so I'm going to say 2-0 to Thunder because I don't feel like it'd be a 1-0 because I think if it gets that close, I can get the win. If that makes sense.
I feel like just looking at the teams, I can't not give it to you because you have you have the Ninetales, the Rotom Heat, the Volcanion, just all those. He just can't deal with all three of those together.
Well, part of my team plan was to make sure I could deal with everyone in my group, and the only person who was like a massive threat was him. Was Thunder.
Yeah.
And his water types.
Then Charizard X is trash.
The Torkoal is a god. So that's a thing.
I mean, what is Torkoal's special defense? Ooh, because you're mainly going to be needing specially defensive walls. Do you have many of those other than Heatran? Because he can stick Earthquake on his Gyarados.
Rotom Heat with Pasho Berry.
Oh, that's true. I mean, Torkoal gets 70 base special defense.
Yeah, Torkoal with Pasho Berry and weakness policy, Max for Death, weakness policy.
Weakness policy.
Sunny Day Solar Beam.
Shell Smash weakness policy. Just make sure he just wins.
Yeah, and then Hidden Power Grass because we want to hit those types.
Yeah, I mean you get +3, wouldn't you? You'd probably beat everything. No, I've got to say 2-0 to you.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Anyway, that's enough theory crafting.
Yeah. And the final match in the Moon Division, we have the Dominican Drapion versus the New Jersey Rebels. I talked about this match earlier in the video. Dominican Drapion's win.
Basically, Mega Titan.
Yeah. As long as he has a check to the Hawlucha, he wins.
And Hidden Power Ice is really easy to throw on for the Gligar as well. So.
You can also just run a mixed Tyranitar, get Fire Blast on there, and destroy the Skarmory. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree. I will go 3-0 because Zen's a good player as well. So it's not like Alex is going to easily outplay him.
Yeah, but I mean, just looking at Drapion's team, he's got Weavile, Mega Tyranitar. You know.
Yeah.
Bishop might be able to do a lot against the Mega Aerodactyl and things like that, and the Togetic. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go 4-0 for the Drapions.
Yeah. I think Alex's only chance is if he outplays Zen. And Alex is a good player, but I think Zen at least matches him, if not.
Yeah, I mean, Mega Aerodactyl isn't going to be doing too much in that game, let's be honest.
No.
The Sharpedo, the Bishop.
It's EQ, I guess. But.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've got to give that sort of a 4-0. Just for the simple sake of the team matchup.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the predictions for week 1.
Yeah, for week 1, our post-draft analysis.
Right now, I want prediction 3 people from each group who are going to go through to the playoffs because it's the top 3. I want to hear yours right now.
Okay.
We'll start with the Sun.
You, Gray, and the final one's the difficult one.
Yeah.
You, Gray, and someone.
Go on, no, I want to hear it.
Okay, you, Gray, and Harshal, because I feel he has a decent matchup versus Poison fighting and can open Steel with lots of knockoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then from our group, I feel it will be Isu, Zen, and then either Agon and I for the last one.
So yeah, that's what Rolt Sociedad, Drapions, and Cork City, because you're not going to win.
Oh, thanks.
That's what you get for drafting Mega Charizard X.
Just because you got the story right. Cough, cough. 5 kills with that? Cough,
it was 4. It was 4, okay? Don Fan killed my Clefable, and Snorlax...
only 4.
And Snorlax killed my Latias, okay? It was just 4. It's just 4.
Just 4?
Just 4.
Snorlax only killed 4 of my Mons.
The crit mattered in one of those kills. It didn't matter in the end result, but it mattered in one of them.
We're not doing this right now. This is another discussion for another day.
I'm not salty.
His opponent got wrecked by Charizard X because he's bad.
I'm not salty. I'm just annoyed, okay?
You're not salty. You're just bad.
Yeah, my predictions, me, Gray, Harshal, and then... Dominican Drapions, Rolt Sociedad, Cork City Cyndaquil, in that order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're cool.
Do you have any bold predictions over the season? You know, top kills from every...
Well, since... okay, bold predictions. Most kills for Agon's team will not be Mega Gardevoir, because I think obviously it should be Mega Gardevoir, but I don't think it will be. I also think that Torkoal won't die once.
Fuck off. Yes, it will.
No, it won't. Just me. Oh, my words. It won't die once. And my final thing is Megalopony won't have the most kills in your group.
Okay. Alright. My bold prediction. Scolipede will get at least double the amount of kills than it does deaths. And... Mega Sizzle will go negative this season.
Okay.
That's my bold prediction.
Megazard X will destroy you again in the semi-finals of playoffs.
Fuck off. You're not even qualifying. Shut up.
You don't think I qualify, because that's just rude. But think about it. You predicted me to beat Thunder. I should be able to beat Isu. And then
I don't know.
I just need to win like one more, and I qualify.
Do you though? I mean,
Yeah.
if Isu gets 4 wins, Zen gets 3 wins, and Aggron gets 3 wins. You know.
Yeah, then I just need to beat one more, then I also get 3 wins, and then Torkoal will have so many kills that I'll win on differential.
Alright, I think that's been the video, guys. So thanks for Craft for helping out. We had to redo this
No problem.
because he's too quiet.
Make a Charizard X.
See you guys in the next video, which I don't know what it would be. Might be just looking at the teams in depth, to be honest. That'll probably just be me. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys, and see ya.
Charizard X.